Hi, it's Nancy. I am Director of Talent Acquisition and Employee Engagement for Digital Yellow. We are a full service marketing and advertising agency, and my rating for Workable is a 3 out of 5. So I looked at, I've actually implemented several other systems in previous roles. So I've used CATS, I've used JobVite, I've used Lever, I've used two proprietary systems, and I know there's one more that is I'm drawing a blank on right now. So I felt like when I decided to use Workable, because I used it in a previous role and had implemented it before, I knew what I was getting into. Well, I really like the people search function, and I like the user interface of Workable. It's very easy on the eyes. Things are in places that make sense to me, and I felt like my hiring managers would find it easy to use. So onboarding was extremely frustrating, and that's part of why I'm not giving them a higher score. Jazz is the other system that I was using. So I was migrating from Jazz. So Jazz provided me with essentially, I think it was some absurd number like 10,000 files, and none of them were mapped to each other. They gave me CSV files. And so then I went to Workable and was like, okay, how do I import all this in? And all Workable gave me was an Excel spreadsheet. It was like, put everything here. Well, I couldn't figure it out. I asked multiple times for someone to get on the phone and talk to me and help me figure out how to do this, and nobody would. I finally was able to, just from complaining enough, get somebody to look at the files. They wouldn't even look at them. They were like, you didn't pay for migration. And what was frustrating to me was I was never offered to pay for migration. We are on a plan. We do probably 12 to 15 hires a year. So we didn't need to be on an upgraded plan. And the only way to get the migration, or for them to help me with the migration, was for us to spend like another, like, I don't even know the number. It was an exorbitant number, and it was to change our plan. I didn't need to change plan, but I would have paid, a sum, a fixed fee, to be able to have help to import everything in. I still have not been able to import everything in, and it's I think we are probably 4 or 5 months into using Workable. So basically, a year or 2 years of data, because I started a year and used Jazz for a year, and so they were using Jazz before I got there for a couple of years. I lost all that data. So anybody in particular that I know that I talked to before, I literally had to rely on my own memory. And so it's frustrating because I can't go back to the historical data to be able to say, yes, this person interviewed with us. So onboarding was horrible. And they assigned me an account person who was in Greece. And there was basically, I'm in the Eastern time zone. And so, in order to be able to talk to that person, there was like a 2 hour window of every day when we were both working. So, I asked to be reassigned. I never spoke to anybody else. And so, onboarding, I knew how to use it. I wasn't able to get the information in. First and foremost, make sure that you are clear on how you're going to import your information in. Understand, and I think this is a problem with most applicant tracking systems, is if I have a candidate that applies for job A, job B, and job C, and we interview them for job A and then decide, no, they're a better fit for job B, all the information is captured in job A. So all the interviews are in job A. So if I'm now interviewing them for job B, unless somebody knows that they've interviewed previously, that information is also lost. So there's no general candidate file because it's not a customer relationship manager. It's just an applicant tracking system. So that is a big thing for me. I also don't believe that the syncing between Outlook and Workable works correctly and consistently. So there have been emails that I have found that haven't sunk between the two systems, which makes me worried what isn't syncing. So I very much doubt the validity of the data. Um, and honestly, I don't feel appreciated as a customer. So I there's so many good things about Workable that I really like. The rating system, or being able to set up um, the interview questions, and a thumbs up, thumbs down rating. It's very simple that way, but it's got a lot of quirks. It's got a lot of quirks.